It's got to be an offlane Void Spirit here, right? Is that something that Zor plays?
He does. He definitely does like the Void Spirit.
10 seconds.
Is it? And the only thing I'm unsure is if it's even good into the gyro, though, is the thing. You do have a lot of magic damage, and you don't really have rocket barrage potential onto the gyro, or from the gyro onto Void Spirit. So I guess it's on paper not the worst pick into the offlane. They do ban out Monkey King, probably Queen of Pain or something along those lines for the TA that they want to ban here, just because they want to make sure she doesn't get, one of these hard counters in the mid lane.
TA, perhaps Viper as well.
Oh yeah, Viper would make a lot of sense.
Viper doesn't look awful here. You've got a lot of ability to hold people in place. You've got decent stun potential. Maybe even another Spirit hero to round things out. But you could just focus on shutting down this Templar Assassins game more than anything else. Both teams have plenty of reserve time to work with here. Another minute and 5 seconds now on Felt. I'm not sure what the scariest thing for them to play against here. I mean, it's very obvious that they're going to take some sort of mid laner. Probably just get rid of either the Viper or the Queen of Pain, right?
I think you were right on the Viper pick. That one would make the most sense to me. That hero is very difficult to deal with, and they want to be able to pick something that still deals with Sand King. They could go back for the Anti-Mage, honestly, because it is a hero that beats Sand King in lane, and it does pretty well against Gyrocopter. So they actually just ban out the Kunkka.
That one's okay. They do need a front line here. I mean, Sand King, he can sit in the front, sort of, but they want somebody else to dangle, so to speak.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talking about a good dangle here, Neph? Is that where we're going?
Dangle here. Yep. You know exactly what I was going for.
10 seconds.
I think they'll take some sort of dangler regardless, now that I really think about it.
5
They've got the Dragon Knight left, which is matched up against the Templar Assassins sometimes. The Breathe Fire does reduce the overall damage of heroes. They give it to the Juggernaut last here. Makes sense. You're playing against Gyrocopter, Mirana, Ogre Magi, Sand King. I mean, we talked about the magical damage. You can get yourself out of that with a nice spin. Lifestealer is an option as well, but he's fallen off a lot.
He has. I think they honestly might go back for the Anti-Mage. Oh, it's banned. Never mind. All right. Well, I'm a dum-dum.
It gets through once, but not twice here. That's fine.
So, as far as heroes that aren't banned, Wraith King.
Yeah, it fits into the patch.
Makes sense. It's also pretty decent against Sand King. You don't struggle too much in the lane.
You needed some sort of strength here. I was thinking, like, given what they're playing against, they need somebody with a bit of bulk, so picking a strength carry makes the most sense here. And on their side, dangling heroes. Name them, Ricky.
Good. There's some good danglers left.
Doom?
There's Doom. You have Underlord, which the problem with Underlord is he feels too much of the same role as Sand King. I think they need something that does some serious damage out of the mid lane, too.
It's not going to be Dragon Knight if you want serious damage. Kunkka did do serious damage, but he's been taken out.
You just need something that sets up for the Mirana as well. I think honestly, Dragon Knight isn't a bad pick. I think you're right. Dragon Knight would be pretty sick here. Because you only need a single point in the stun to like really easily set up the arrow. Breathe Fire does work pretty well against TA, and once you have like the 2 and eventually the 3rd point in Dragon's Blood, you don't really care too much about TA.
Now, this isn't going to happen, but what about Alchemist?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect to see it here. I think it would get bodied and Templar Assassin be able to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, TA would just get like a 12-minute Desolator and then like a 15-minute Blink Dagger and ruin his game.
I'm trying to think about who ticks all those boxes that you're talking about, though. Like stun, tons of damage, very bulky. Like, I don't know, it would be very cool if a hero like that existed and they could pick it right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like that hero would be too good.
Yeah, I think the Kunkka pick ban was quite good.
Yeah.
Especially when you pick up the Wraith King here.
Ooh, Lone Druid?
Lone Druid's quite good. This would be if one of them play Lone Druid, this would be a good Lone Druid. It doesn't do exceptionally well against TA in the mid lane, but it's still pretty good. They take Tiny.
Okay, I guess it's a hero that does check all those boxes. You have the burst damage. You're reasonably tanky. Well, you could sort of sit on the front line. You do like getting a favorable initiation off with the tiny, jump onto somebody, but I think they're discussing who they want to put in the mid right now, as they haven't locked in the 1 and the 2.
It is going to be P1 on the tiny. Okay. So that's mid tiny.
Yep. Templar doesn't have the worst time. You can break refraction very easily with an avalanche, but generally you have very little kill potential on the Templar assassin. You're gonna struggle to bring down her HP at all. I like the Christmas tree he's got going on.
Yeah, that's a classic one. There's so many good trees for the tiny.
Yeah, it looks like he's mixed up several pieces of cosmetics, and he looks very ugly because of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, with Wraith King picked up last, I do like Justice here on his Grimstroke. I think he's an incredible Grimstroke player. I'm not sure why they give that up to him again. Gyrocopter does feel a little bit underwhelming this patch to me. I got to say, I favor Felt coming into this one. I don't know how you feel. Jiang Hu, Felt, what you got, Ricky?
I'm with you on Felt. I honestly think Felt's draft is pretty good. The TA, for the most part, is still going to have a pretty good game. And even though she doesn't like really directly counter anyone here, it is just going to be a lot of damage that helps enable the Wraith King. And she can kind of just like go for pickoffs on these other heroes.
Now, I got to ask you, because, of course, we would never be biased casters here, especially not on the Summit. Is it because your boy Zor is on Felt that you prefer them, or is it just draft?
It is just the draft. I do big Zor fan, but no, it is honestly just a draft thing for me. I don't know if the tiny is going to do it. And that's like the big question mark, is this tiny has to pop off this game and allow this gyrocopter to get to like this Aghanim Scepter. And then, gosh, I don't know. What do you go this game? Ag's Diffusal, Ag's, it's an interesting one. It's a hard thing to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. I imagine the Diffusal is just out of the question here. I mean, Mirana does have the 20 talent for the 20 mana break, but a lot of the time people just go the spell amp instead, get the extra damage from the arrow. Sometimes when they do scale into a core, they'll get like a Maelstrom as well. Get that extra magical damage, the extra damage from the Maelstrom and the Mjolnir.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be your standard, Maelstrom Ags like you're talking about.
Feed me if you must.
Level 25 TA. All right.
I guess that's why we saw it banned out the other game. We do have a Templar Assassin Specialist. 26, actually. You'd have to keep in mind 30 is now the cap.
How do you see that he's 20? Oh, yeah, you can inspect. Wow. It's a lot of TA games.
It is a lot of TA games. There's some everything maxed out as well. Almost 5 million refraction damage absorbed.
Oh my
DKB. That is a big TA.
That is a lot of games. All right, Dana's just gonna walk in bottom, reveal himself. Old White gets a nice bro strike onto the Wraith King, and with the help of Storm and Trap, this should be first blood, and they're just gonna take it. Ogre grabs it of all heroes. I think, the Old White Sand King would have been happy to take that, but Ogre, he wants a Midas, I'm sure.
Bit of a questionable play, if you ask me, but I'm sure it's whatever. But Wraith King is forced to TP back in. The economic damage already. Hell, they're doing a lot here to this Mirana, sitting at 178 HP. Sand King does come in, does have the Burrow Strike to him here. Actually, sitting very low right now. The Mirana. One more auto attack would bring him down, but I don't think he's going to manage to connect it.
Yeah, same move speed. Burrow Strike into Arrow, though. He does have Stroke of Fate. He might be able to turn this around. No, not going to happen. Old White. Man, this guy's good.
It's no surprise. You have to keep in mind this is the people that was on Demon Slayers at their run through Dream League. They ended up coming in second place at Dream League Season 11, I believe. He went home with what? I think he went home like $50,000 or something.
That's a lot.
Nice chunk of
That's
change.
a good chunk.
Yeah. That's a good chunk of change. Some excellent teams there. It was a year back now, maybe a little bit more. I think it was late 2019.
Taking a look at top lane, the Zor off lane Void Spirit versus Neko on his Gyro. And honestly, so far, Gyro's doing pretty great. They are going to... Oh. He's trying to go for the courier. Oh, he's going to find Gyros instead. Oh, no. Well, you know, Vayna has gotten a lot of couriers in this tournament already.
Yeah, he has. Should definitely keep a record of how many courier kills each team has gotten. I believe we have Knoxville as the official statistician of.
He's gonna get the D ward. That feels great for Storm.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious that he had that one there. So, a bunch of gold going his way. I'm surprised Thana didn't try to contest that one, deny the ward kill.
Oh, Jerry missing a kill in the bottom lane. They do trade 1-for-1. They get Old White first, but manage to still finish off the Wraith King. So the support's going to just soak some nice solo experience for now.
Yeah, and you know, normally I'd say that'd be bad. You want Wraith King getting that kill, but Justice has shown how scary he is with a little bit of farm. You remember game number 1, once they gave him that Aghanim Scepter, it was his team that won the game off of that one. That Wraith King illusion, the Wraith King... Dark Portrait, I believe it's called.
Yeah,
was very
Dark Portrait. It was quite good.
Mid lane, we haven't had a chance to touch on yet. TA doing pretty bad against the Tiny, all things considered. You do have a lot more base damage to work with, but you think that it would draw a little bit more even thanks to Refraction.
Yeah, well, Refraction doesn't deny anymore, right?
No, it doesn't.
So you don't get like the kind of early level domination from just like a casual point in Refraction like you used to. And like you said, Tiny does do quite a bit of damage with a tree, so. But yeah, 20 last hits, 8 denies on the Tiny. TA does have to be careful of the toss back as well. You manage to get tossed under tower with an avalanche, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Imagine it's got Gloves of Haze coming out right now, so I think he'll start to try and harass this Tiny a little bit. But up until now, he's strong. You don't get the benefit of, the Psyblade spell doing pure damage going through his armor against the Tiny either, as he's got no armor to work with. So.
Yeah, it's a good point. You're like, I'm just gonna take that damage no matter what.
Yeah. Very big strength growth rate. I think 3.8 per level. Yeah, 3.8 per level.
That is a lot.
This would make a great story.
Top lane,
No, go ahead.
Top lane Gyrocopters having a pretty nice time against the Void Spirit. They're not exactly shutting Zor down, but Gyrocopter is still fighting a lot of CS.
They might be able to find Storm. Nope, they're not gonna go for it. I was like, if they get an Impale, like maybe they have the magic damage to go for it, but it would be a lot to commit, and it's not a guaranteed pick off. So 5-minute bounties, they're coming up. Thana should be able to get this. Does have the Impale Fire Blast, not usually going to be enough here. And with the rotation from Zor, Remnant on the mark as well. They have Resonant Pulse as well as the Dissimulate. If they can stay on top of him, they're not going to go for it. Zor's going to head back to the lane, try and get himself some experience. Bottom side, Justice dodges out an arrow, but he's going to walk right into the Tinies. He just slaps him down for a free kill.
Yeah. That double damage rune allowing him to just one auto attack to take him down. He denied the bounty rune there while they were chasing him, though.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. That's the good old, as you like to put it, oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? So Tiny's not going to be happy about that one. He's going to bottle himself back up. There's going to be no bounty sitting on his triangle there. Got away with a bit too much. Templar Assassin, on the other hand, what she got? She's got power treads coming out, rather. I thought she'd be having a bottle and has this bounty rune sitting here, but she leaves it for now for some reason. All right, so she get the stack.
Oh my goodness.
Double stack?
Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Dude, Old White just is just owning bottom lane. He has a full level and a half ahead of Wraith King.
That's pretty insane. I mean, Justice has been soaking up a lot of XP here. You have to keep him. Oh, Thana ends up going down. They're not done yet.
They're gonna continue pushing. That's a hasted Tiny. I don't think you can get away here. He's gonna just try and TB, get the Fire Blast instead. The Tree Toss, trying to save that last hit for him, but it's not gonna happen. Goes over to Mirana. 2 quick kills.
Yeah, that is very...
They're turning on to the Sand King, though. They might be able to get him. He has no way out. Gets the crit, and even a level 6 there now for the Wraith King.
Just stunned up there, too much to deal with. I think he could have burrow striked out potentially and then walked away, but that chain stunning was just a little bit too much.
Oh, Zor top lane? Going on to Neko. That damage, it's quite a bit. He has a dissimulate, just gets him with the right clicks instead, and now gonna be able to dissimulate to the top side into the tree line, and P1 not gonna be able to find him. That is a huge pickoff.
Yeah, and both of his teammates tipping him as well for the excellent play. As they should. 3 of his teammates tipping him. Zor carrying the game. Absolutely beautiful.
You have a Midas on the Wraith King. Just Quelling Blade, Bracer, Midas. Finished at 7 minutes and... Ink swelling the minion. Oh man, that's funny. She took a lot of damage from this.
Yeah. Didn't want to commit an extra leap charge, it looked like. That was a cute play for sure.
Dude, she, like, this is such a nuisance. Like, she has taken, almost 3/4 of her health just from this one initiation bottom.
You're going to struggle to stand around here. Old White's having a very good time, though. That kill they got on him was pretty important. Allowed the Wraith King a little bit of time to catch up here. See, he's got no reincarnate right now. He's not even holding a point.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think he really wants to even hold the point. He'd rather die than reincarnate, I think.
In fact, he's done it again. One of the benefits of it is your enemies don't really know how many points that you put into each one. Well, you could probably do the math how big that you crit, but it's a little bit tricky to do that. Not a lot of people will do that on the fly.
Yeah, the only reason you would get reincarnate is if you're worried about dying to the epicenter, because then you know, like, your second life, you're definitely not dead. Storm bottom lane gonna get popped once again to that stun combination from the Wraith King, and now Zor's rotated in down as well. Trap's gonna get that double leap out, and now Wraith King, this is why you kind of wanted reincarnation, but he's gonna be able to survive. Gets the Midas off as well. Zor in the bottom lane as well. Gonna find Old White potentially, but a nice bro strike and a call down as well. The magic damage is here as all 4 heroes rotate to the bottom lane here to help out Zor, trying to make his way to safety, but Avalanche gonna be more than enough. Plus the toss on, and P1's gonna pick up that kill.
Just before he has Astral Step available again as well. They've got 4 heroes down here, 2 of them sitting pretty low, but I imagine they'll want to push the tower. You should probably do something to clear out these trees and deal with people teleporting into the bottom lane. It looks like the tower's actually pretty low on their priority list. It does give Storm the opportunity to soak up a couple of levels in the mid lane after that rotation down there, which he does very much need. Only sitting at level 4 right now, almost 9 minutes into the game, or 9, almost 10.
The radiant glyph is now active.
Oh, Dana?
Well, Tiny has hit level 8. This is very scary.
He sat over by those trees trying to teleport out, but the Observer Ward did.
Justice? Can he kill Solo? Oh my gosh, he does. Solo kills Old White in the top lane.
Old White had an excellent lane, tons of last hits in it, but he's died a number of times now. Ended up feeding the gold advantage back away. I think he's just not a priority for his team, so he's forced to play more dangerous areas of the map while his team does stuff, and he's gonna fall off again. We saw this I think last time when he was playing Timbersaw as well.
All right, level 10 is going to be the big damage boost for the Tiny Ace. He'll get his first level of Grow. On the backside, they do catch a Fire Blast arrow onto the Nyx. More than enough damage as P1's to be able to pick him off, but some trouble. Hit by the Phantom's Embrace. There's going to be a nice Soul Bind, but there's not really anyone here to follow it up. Zor does not have the spells available. And top lane, he will be able to take the tower on the Wraith King mid lane. They're going to be able to continue the fight. Templar Assassin able to dodge out that arrow for the time being, but in comes Zor, and this is what you have to be so scared about, this Void Spear. Once his cooldowns are back, he just shreds you. Wraith King comes mid as well. No Wraith Fire Blast available, but they get the kill anyway. And this might be a dead mid tower, because you do have this. You have the boys.
The boys and the Cardi with him as well. The GG planted.
That's pretty nice.
The Templar Assassin, but hanging around there a little bit too long. I thought that they wouldn't be able to take a fight because they didn't the AoE, but they are sitting beside that tier 1 tower. Very easy entry point. Awkward positioning there by Jiang Hu. So there's your mid 1 tower gone. Enemy 1 sitting at basically full HP, and map control is going to go the side of Felt now. Start invading the jungle so much easier thanks to that tier 1 top and mid lane being taken care of.
I mean, net worth wise, just look at the lead on Wraith King and TA. They're both like, I mean, there's a 2,000 gold lead just on those heroes alone to the next closest. So, I mean, they're just feeling great. And Wraith King has Midas.
Yeah, he's got Midas. He's got Chipped Vest. He's farming the jungle incredibly quickly right now. I'm curious if he's going to go with Radiance this game or he's going to go for that Armlet build.
And there's the 12-minute Deso as predicted. That's pretty much how it goes with TA. Even having, a death in the lane, still manages to get that 12-minute Desolator. And there's a couple Ancients that she can clear up herself.
Stack the camps herself, pulled herself up by her bootstraps, as we do in North America. Another mid laner would have cried to the supports to stack the camps for her. And grouping up, potentially look for some kills. That's the only reason I imagine that Zor and Tay are sitting in the same area. We see Old White here. There's a sandstorm. In fact, the fight does break out here.
Justice on the backside gets found by 2 supports. They will take down Old White. A nice soulbind. Grimstroke, his dying wish. It's going to be able to allow him to secure potentially 2 more kills. And now Neko, he rotated over for a moment. He might regret this as Thena is here. Be able to stun him up with that spike. Carapace, they don't have the damage. Tay, with this brand new Desolator, is just chewing through these heroes. Zor gets the Astral Step away, but the Kobe as he finds the kill, and P1 will TP out. A 4 for 3.
Yeah, that Templar Assassin absolutely bodied the Sand King at the start, but he wasn't able to get anything off. That was almost 600 damage in 1 auto attack from TA. Without him having the favorable initiation, getting the stun off, there was nothing they were able to do there. Though they did manage to get a bunch of kills there, but the Templar Assassin popping off is the worst case scenario for Jiang Hu. So regardless of them giving more kills there, and the XP and gold lead did end up going the way of Felt.
Yeah. And it's more space for the Wraith King to farm, as it looks like he's going the Radiance build this game. He's just sitting on 2,700 gold. The Midas into Radiance is usually what you see if you go the Midas build. Earlier we saw the Armlet build on Wraith King be incredibly successful. But I think this Wraith King is pretty content just going for these farming items. And another 4-man smoke. I mean, they just really want to enable this TH. She's got a DD rune as well.
Yeah, a little bit away from this Blink Dagger, but I think they're wanting to take advantage of this double damage rune right now.
She can just go set up Maelstrike and Roche.
Yeah, Roche.
Yeah.
All right, Wraith King gets in there. Yeah, they can clear this incredibly quickly. I think they wasted a bit of the time from this double damage rune. I don't think that they're going to realize what they're up to.
You have to waste a little bit of that time, though, for the triple meld strike is the thing.
No. We're from scouting and potentially going for a kill in the jungle.
Ooh. All right, they take on the Grimstroke. He does have buyback. The Roshan's down to 1,600 health. 5 people here on the side protected by that invis. They will catch the dust. The call down comes in, but they're going to find the Ogre. Zor now has to disengage. They will trade 1 for 1. A huge epicenter. Old White turns it around. Tay got to do what he can. The reincarnation from the Wraith King isn't going to protect. Oh my gosh, a crit. Gets a stun off right before he goes down, but a great reanimation. They're going to turn it around. Thena with a 2-man impale. The buybacks from the Radiant paying off big here.
And this is the benefit of having that tier 1 tower up. It allows them to take these fights in the mid lane right beside the Roche pit, something that Jiang Hu were forced to give up earlier. Absolutely insane team fight, and definitely worth it coming back in with Thena and Just. They would have lost that fight very heavily otherwise. But they just couldn't get their hands on Templar Assassin there either, and so much damage Tay is pumping out here. You can see a fight recap, but it looks like we're not getting one.
Yeah, that's quite a good fight there. If you're Felt here, you got to be pretty happy. Yes, you lost your Wraith King, but at the end of the day, he is still getting very close to the Radiance. Second on net worth, still very far ahead of anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, you figured you were going to lose your Wraith King there. It's the Templar Assassin game up until Wraith King comes online, though, and my god, is it ever? It's sitting at 3-1-7 at the moment. Just fight after fight, they can't get their hands on it. They need to somehow blow it up. But I think right now they lack the lockdown. If people hold their abilities for the Templar Assassin, yes, it's great. But then it's very easy for Nyx to get on your back line. Grimstroke is a hero that you have to worry about as well. You can't save everything for the TA, and she's taking advantage of this one.
Yeah, I mean, she is so farmed. I mean, 10,000 net worth almost here at 17 minutes. She does have that blink deso like we talked about. And okay, goodbye. Thena is here, gets a Spike Carapace and the Impale onto Tiny. That's not where you want to be, sir. Yeah, I mean, we talked about in draft, you know, like the timings for TA is almost always 12-minute deso into 15-minute blink dagger if you can get it. Those are, you know, the perfect item timings on this hero, and she hit it perfectly. Maybe 10 seconds late or something, but you are just so strong right now. And like I said, there's not really a counter to the TA. She doesn't like necessarily heavily counter any of these other heroes, but she just does damage, and that's enough.
It is TA. Sitting on 2,000, there's 2,300 gold as well. I'm curious what her next item is going to be. You think she'll just go straight dataless after this one, continue to body the heroes here with damage, or
she'll go BKB? Right. Just pick up like a quick an early BKB, like by 22 minutes, and then you're never under kill threat.
Yep. But there's a tier 2 tower taken at 17 minutes. We'll open up shrines, and you can control these until the 20-minute mark. It's very bad news for Jiang Hu.
All right. Jungle items dropping here. Let's take a look. It is just going to be the Quicksilver Amulet so far. The Dire, however, have the Bullwhip as well as Vambrace and Nethershell. The Nethershell is great, but against a TA, it's not as good as it normally is.
Conceal yourselves.
Looks like they're going to hold on to the Quicksilver Amulet, which makes sense. A lot of the time, your refraction is going to be on cooldown on the Templar Assassin, so you're always getting the benefit of it. Oh my god, Ogre Magi. There's nothing that he's able to do. The stun will buy him a little bit of time, but...
Minus 14 armor. Yikes.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse when he gets 20. I imagine he'll get the Meld Dispels, though, in order to deal with, you know, either Dust coming out or the Ignite from the
It's
Ogre
just
Magi.
so good. Like, it's just like having a Dispel is so good. Radiance completed on the Wraith King. He takes bottom tower. He's just going to continue farming mid, and this gold lead is just getting larger and larger for the side of Felt. And look at Thena as he's managed to find Tiny, but does miss the Impale.
And I'm curious as to when the Gyrocopter is going to be online enough to take the fight. I mean, it's a great hero against the Templar Assassin. You have tons of base armor. Your agility growth rate is very high, so she's not able to blow you up the same way she can a lot of other heroes. Oh. But I'm not sure you're going to have enough damage to deal with these heroes. I mean, Wraith King is huge. It's made even worse when you're surrounded by the skeletons. Your Rocket Bra isn't going to do any damage to anybody.
And the boy is going to get to work on the mid lane tower with the help of the TA. That minus armor. You do have Aegis for another minute. The blink in. They're going to be the nice stun. But TA, she can almost get a blink out herself. She doesn't even care for the time being. Like we said, she does have the Aegis. And nice initiation in from Zor, the Wraithfire Blaster there. Neko, he's trying to run. He's got to get out with the Inkswell. It snaps. They get the kill. The backside, they're looking for Storm as well. Wraith King still has his first life. It will go down. Zor, Dissimulate. He's able to survive for the time being. Avalanche toss backside. Thena will fall. It's a 1 for 2 so far. The buyback on the Ogre. Both cores on the Radiant. Or all 3 cores. Zor finishes getting the escape there. Nice blink stun in from Old White. Inkswell going to protect him for the moment, but arrow comes in. Avalanche toss. Great connection there from the Dire. Tay's trying to close. Oh, yeah, realize he might be going a little bit too far there. You cannot afford to die on the TA right now. Old White will find another stun onto the Grimstroke. Inkswell is out. Nice avalanche toss, though. Be able to find that kill.
Yep, and forced to get back. So I think not buying that BKB on the Templar Assassin, sitting on 4,200 gold at the start of that team fight, came to bite her in the ass a little bit there. I will say they were forced to get back a little bit early on Jiang Hu. Just due to the fact that Mirana, I think, tried to shoot an arrow with Templar Assassin respawning, but was timed it a little bit off. just went right past her. She was getting back up. Yeah, Templar Assassin also had trouble getting back in the team fight when they initiated onto the Wraith King over here, just due to the sandstorm and whatnot. He tried to wrap around over here and wasted a little bit of time. So both teams making a couple of errors in that last team fight, and I think it's done benefit to Jiang Hu a little bit right now. Is Templar Assassin is basically at peak timing there. Any longer it takes her, and she'll start to fall off in the grand scheme of things.
Correct. Yeah, you have pretty much the 3 items you need to try and take over a game, and if you are the side of Felt, you kind of want to take a barracks within the next 4 minutes.
Invisibility.
Like that 25-minute mark is where you're really going to be peaking. Is you're going to have that AC completed on the Wraith King by then. TA will probably have her level 20, and she's closing in on a Daedalus as well. So I mean, all of these items, you're going to want to try and turn this. Oh, Dana, what a nuisance. He sees the TP out from Old White being channeled, and he's going to catch the dust. Old White with a blink burrow strike to the side. In comes Zor, though. He's going to continue the chase to Assimilate, plus the Remnant. They should have the damage for this. Ewell's still available. They have an Impale in a couple seconds. They need to be able to make sure his Blink Dagger stays canceled. Second dust comes out, a couple auto attacks. Zor will find him. What a great setup there from the Nyx.
Yeah, that one was beautiful. I mean, you don't think the Nyx Assassin is going to be coming around you on the Sand King, so you think you're safe, relatively safe to teleport out, especially underneath invisibility, but didn't take advantage of that one. Tay tried to style on Old White there and hit him with side blades from the creep camp as he almost died, but he was off the mark slightly.
Oh boy, goodbye Storm. The Ogre Magi could not do anything. He gets scouted for a moment and just dies.
Yeah, and that'll open up the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Bottom is shoved all the way to Radiance tier 2, so they're not going to be able to do anything there. Roche potentially respawning in another 45 seconds. We'll find out exactly when pretty soon here. I imagine that's the next major objective that Felt are looking for here. That bottom tower doesn't feel that important.
Yeah, absolutely. A 7,000 gold lead now, though, for the side of Felt, and it just seems like it's going to continue to get worse. Like, Tiny is one of these heroes that once you have, like, your Blink, Echo Saber, typically that's when, like, you're supposed to be one of the strongest heroes on the map finding kills, and we did see them on this, like, chase out of the mid lane. They find a lot of decent pickoffs there, but he's not going to be able to keep up with this Wraith King and TA.
No. It doesn't feel like it. If the game goes ultra late, Mirana can start to scale into a core, but I think they expected to be doing a little bit better at this point on Jiang Hu. This gyrocopter BKB is something that's incredibly important as well, and Roche's respawn is going to be a little bit faster. I don't think that it'll have this by the time that Felt is knocking on their doors, wanting to push high ground. In fact, they're not even going to wait for Roshan. They're playing very close, hugging this triangle here. Looks like they want to close this game out.
They just want to take out the last tier 2 tower so that all barracks are available, and then, like you said, I think once they decide to go for the Roshan, they have the ability to go for any barracks that they want. Mid lane Mirana just trying to cut waves as best as possible, doing what she can, but AC completed on the Wraith King Daedalus. How close are we? Couple hundred, about 1,000 gold.
Yeah. Roshan responds right now. Trap will reveal, so they'll probably ping that one out in just a moment. Mirana's sitting around the pit here and grabs the bounty room. Oh no, Nyx is at Pale. Oh! Oh, I think that was just a little bit short.
Yeah, I mean, he just went for the ground target, which is the best possible scenario, but he almost got it.
He definitely didn't react fast enough there, but I don't think he was expecting to see TP gyrocopter there.
He might Vendetta after this Mirana here.
Gonna have to deal with it one way or the. Come on. Oh, no.
TPing out in the trees there. She's gonna be fine.
It will be the Roche going their way here. Templar Assassin grabbing it. She is going to be the one hitting the towers due to her attack range. Also a lot more difficult to bring down, or easy to bring down the Wraith than you would bring down Choice with the Reincarnate. So it makes sense. Speaking of, he's level 18 now. 40-second cooldown on the Reincarnation. They've hit basically everything they need. They could finish up this Daedalus on the Templar Assassin. They could finish up the Blink Dagger on the Wraith King, but I think you're more concerned about Gyrocopter grabbing his BKB and fighting into you. Right now, you definitely can't push high ground. I think you want to.
Yeah,
assault
I think
cross.
you're right. We got level 20 talent on the TA, like you said. The meld dispel's pretty darn good. All right, jump in from Old White, set up into a nice arrow. Wraith King lost a lot of HP to begin with, but like you said, he does have that level 3 reincarnation, so only the 40-second cooldown, allowing them to basically reset on every creep wave.
They lose their catapult there. Wraith King, he wants to heal up in the jungle for a moment before he goes back in off this creep wave.
Yeah, they know there's a ward over there. Neko, I mean, he's close. Only 130 gold off of that BKB as he's just finishing up there in the bottom jungle.
He needs this so badly to be able to fight into them. This last creep camp.
Another stun into arrow, plus the spirit vessel. I mean, Wraith King, he might. Nice glimmer cape there, going to keep him alive just long enough as he will survive, but they get the tier 3 tower.
We have the cheese as well, but he'll just use the vampiric spirit to heal himself back up. Brings of minute mark hits. Tier 3 neutral items now dropping. Gyrocopter just a little bit too late with that Black King bar. He's got Nether Shawl as well. It's giving him a bunch of magic resistance. Doesn't need that armor, that's for sure. But my question is, if they continue to push it or they wait for those items that we were talking about on the team. Actually, that is the data list now complete. That is the item.
Yeah, and you just got an Ags picked up on Zor, so the AoE silence is now online for him as well. All right, a lot of damage coming up, but there's going to be Zor. Old White, what happened? Your hero's gone. Zor is just setting up an easy kill for the boys. Neko pops that BKB, Soulbind on the backside. Wraith King gonna try and do what he can. There's gonna be the Yules. Tay protected by his BKB. Neko has to make it back to base. Cannot afford to go down. Nyx Assassin caught for a moment, but Spike Carapace will protect him. The barracks, it is exposed, but protected by backdoor protection for the moment. Creep's about to make it into the base. That's going to stop that from happening. They still have the Aegis cheese was consumed, but reincarnation in 15. They catch the Ogre out once again. Zor setting up another kill. This is what we were talking about. If they have all 3 lanes of barracks, they can just kind of set up, or if they have all 3 outer towers, they can just go from lane to lane.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what they're doing. Trying to disable the blink dagger on the Templar Assassin there with ignites it not possible thanks to that 20 talent, the meld dispel, and Gyrocopter, he couldn't do anything with his BKB there thanks to that Soulbind who just stuck in place beside the Marana. Oh, if Radiance, you know, it's better than 1 Radiance.
Well, you see what TA has now too, right?
What's TA got?
She got the enchanted quiver, baby.
No. This is gonna one-hit people, man. This is just gonna be ugly.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
I know about this one.
Gyro does have a 9-second BKB still available, but they're just gonna go ahead and start working on this tower as much as they can. I mean, you do have Ags on Tiny, which is, you know, pretty great at clearing out those creep waves. You know, Tree Volley does a decent chunk of damage as well, but it doesn't seem like it's enough. Like, they're still barely holding on the high ground here, 13,000 behind. It kind of just seems like they're ready to just back. Get these 30-minute bounty runes. They control both outposts.
Definitely set the right hero back here. Nyx Assassin doesn't really have the same save that Grimstroke offers. So just continue to increase that net worth advantage. We saw it go from 13,000 to what? 15? Give me 16. Give me 16,000, Nyx. There it is.
Do I hear a 17? Smoke and Moonlight Shadow committed here. They're going to try and find something. And we'll go ahead and be Zor on the Void Spirit. More than enough damage from the boys. So you have to know someone's going to get picked off. Old White with that Blink Burrow Strike setting up so many different follow-up disables. And that's not a bad one to get. Wraith King. Inkswell up. He's looking for Neko on the gyro. That's going to stun him. He didn't quit the BKB. He's just dead. I don't think he expected the Inkswell. Oh my goodness. Watch out. This Templar Assassin just destroying them.
One moment of hesitation there on that BKB just caused him to drop chain stun down and nothing they're able to do.
P1 tried to take out Justice. And it did not pay off.
And no buyback available. 77 gold off, and that means everyone on his team is forced to here. if they lose another hero, they just lose the game here. Old White, I think he's gonna set up the.
Oh my gosh, Wraith King just goes in, no cares.
He does have level 3 reincarnate, but that stopped Old White from having a favorable initiation. He was starting to set up the epicenter blink with that burrow strike there. Him jumping in there, forced him to stop his channel because his blink dagger would have been disabled.
He does get BKB as well on the Wraith King here, and he's going to regen so much health off this creep wave. Dana goes in. There's going to be the blink stun. The setup for the Spike Carapace. Old White is dead. Neko pops the BKB. Will take down the Nyx with all of that flat cannon damage, but the Wraith King, he's got reincarnation available. You get the TA. She does have buyback, but in comes the Wraith King Neko. You've got to be careful. You don't have the damage to do it alone. The backside, Wraith King going to have that Inkswell stuns up the gyro. Does have the Wraith Fire Blast to follow. Zor goes in on the backside. Two-man silence. They're going to be able to take down the gyro as well. Killing spree for that Wraith King. The GG is out, and they are gonna do it. Felt finish out the series 2-1.
And that's it. Beautiful game by them. Templar Assassin playing out of her mind this game. I gotta say, did a great job. Felt definitely owe a large chunk of this victory to their mid laner. I mean, don't get me wrong, Justice played an amazing game on this Grimstroke. I mean, all 3 games in a row. You can't give this up to this guy anymore. Other teams are going to be taking notes about this one, knowing to ban this hero. But overall, just tons of map control. And Jiang Hu, they seem to have the advantage during the laning phase every game, but they fall off in these crucial moments, or they seem to crumble just a little bit in the team fights.
Yeah, game pretty even up until about the 15-minute mark, and then that's when we see Blink Deso come out onto the TA. We see the Wraith King finish his Radiance about a minute later. And then suddenly that net worth graph just takes off for those 2 heroes. And it's so hard to come back.
Yeah. Well, you do have a post-game interview to look forward to, everybody. I have Justice from Team Felt that I prepared for this one. We got our interviews handled ahead of time.
Look at that.
This is the kind of production you would expect from the North American DPC.
Absolutely. We're going to have a few moments here. I'm sure you're going to bring him into the call for us, right?
I was just making sure that he was by surprise.
Whoa. Where's your camera, Neph? Turn your camera back on.
My camera is on, I assure you, sir. Justice, welcome. Congratulations on the 2-1 victory. Gotta say, I am super impressed by your Grimstroke.
You messed up. Let me get that hero.
Yeah, that's what I would say, man. They definitely messed up. Ricky is a bigger fan of some of your players, Zor especially, than me. Ricky, you have any questions for the team? Anything you want to say to open this one up? I mean, we've got him for as long as we want. How long do we have you for?
As long as you guys need me, I guess.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's the answer.
Pretty
I like
excited
to hear.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was going to ask. How do you guys feel? I mean, this is your first DPC game, and you guys were going up against a tough opponent, and you guys looked great all 3 games.
You think so? I think we got some kinks to iron out, but we're pretty good. I think we just have to practice more. We had a bunch of scrims lined up. We didn't get really to scrims, so it's we have room for improvement, definitely.
So
yeah, of course.
The scrims got canceled out or what? Or,
I'm sorry?
The scrims, you had them lined up. Did somebody
Yeah.
or what?
They fell through. So this next week we're going to be even stronger.
Yeah.
Love to
So-
hear it.
I was doing a bit of research about all your players. I'm not super familiar with everybody. I know P1. I was told you've been playing competitive and high rank for a super long time, but this is the biggest stage you performed at. Are you nervous at all?
A little bit. I'm just glad to be able to play, man. This DPC League is great. It's really great what Valve did for the Tier 2 scene, Tier 3.
Yeah.
Gives us a time to shine,
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people, I don't think that they were expecting so many North American teams to show up. I mean, the stack originally with like Z Freak, Monkeys Forever, etc., they bombed out of the first open qualifier, I believe. And I think that shocked the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, the NA scene's in a weird place right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of random teams, shuffles, and stuff like that. But I think we're going to see some great teams, especially by the end of this season, for Season 2.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk about game number 2. You're playing the Grimstroke against the Timbersaw. Just so many times you managed to get you managed to get that Phantom's Embrace off onto the Timbersaw with the whirling death out. It just completely ruined
yeah, it's great
game. Was that something you had planned out to begin with? I'm forgetting the order of the draft a little bit there, but is Grimstroke just a specialty?
Definitely. I was always telling my team, don't worry about Timber. He's gonna be silenced.
Perfect.
As soon as he throws that ulti out.
Yeah, leave old white to me.
Now, game one, I want to talk about your itemization game one because you rushed the Aghanim Scepter. And, well, not rushed. You got an Aghanim Scepter on Grimstroke, which is not an easy feat to do. Was that something you realized early on? You're like, if I just get an Ags against Wraith King, we can just kill their team with Wraith King. Was that like the initial plan just from the get-go?
Yep, it definitely was. I love this hero, man.
Okay. Simple enough. Buy Ags. Very cool.
You get a better Wraith King.
Yeah.
Wraith King, but better. My favorite hero. You did like 2,000 damage to the Queen of Pain in that one team fight. It was absolutely insane. Definitely worth you farming. Anything that you want to say here? Talk about your teammates. Talk about the matchup. Whether you prepared. I'm interested in hearing some of your thoughts here, man.
I mean, we really haven't been playing a lot together. We're kind of just like a random stack, like most NA stacks. We just kind of threw it together. We're just glad to play, you know. I think with enough practice, though, we can definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
That's what I love to hear.
I'm asking you two can chat for a little bit. I'm figuring out what questions the chat wants to know. Everyone, you got fans now, Justice, tons of them. So I'm figuring out what they want to ask you. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think your guys' performance, like you are correct. There is definitely room for improvement, but you guys seem to be hitting your timings. You're playing well in the fights. What are the comms like in these games? Like, are they a little hectic because you guys are still like new to playing together, or is it mostly calm and you guys have like a designated shot caller?
Well, we don't really have a designated shot caller. It's kind of a little bit of everyone, so it can get a little chaotic sometimes, but it's also like a group effort. Someone makes a bad call, we could just cancel that out real quick, or shape up for a good fight.
I like it.
All right. Now we've got 3 questions for you. The first one is, how is your day? Now every question is created equal.
I mean, it's pretty great now.
Awesome, glad to hear it. Second question, how does it feel to be the best position 5 out of all of Division 2?
I'm glad to have that title.
Awesome.
I have to agree with it too. Third
question, probably somebody from an enemy team that you're going to be playing against wants to know your hero pool. You can go ahead and ignore that one if you'd like.
I mean, I just played Grim 3 games in a row, so please don't ban it.
Yeah, please do not ban Grim.
Right on.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I've got. Ricky, Justice, anything either of you want to say?
No, man, it's all you. Any shout outs that you want to make before we let you go? Obviously, congratulations once again on taking your first series of the tournament.
Thank you, guys. I'm glad to be here. No real shout outs except for the team. These guys are great. I love playing with them.
Perfect. That's simple, short and sweet, man. Thank you so much for joining us. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You guys too. I'll be watching the stream.
Nice. Neph, we've done it 1 series down, but we've got another to go. Simply 2 based versus Team DogChamp. Some big names on these teams. Simply 2 based currently 1-0 in the DPC. DogChamp did lose 2-0 to Arkosh. So it should be a really good series. I'm excited to watch these guys go head to head. Any final thoughts before we go to a quick break?
No, this one is one in particular that I'm very excited about. DogChamp, they've got some very strong players, as do Simply 2 based. I imagine both of them are going to sit somewhere towards the top. Well, I think the cut in Simply 2 based would sit at the top, but DogChamp, I'm not sure exactly what to expect. They have tons of players people are familiar with. Lukey, Bloody Nine, Rayla Lisa, and then Faden, Yarn the Slayer. Not quite sure what to expect from them. It's going to be a good match regardless.
All right, perfectly said. We'll see you guys after just a short break. Stay tuned for our next series, Simply 2 Base versus Team DogChamp.